Hey guys, this is Alexander Gamer here, and I am bringing us some Russia vodka and death game. For the most part, this game is pretty straightforward so far. We're playing as Russia. We decide we're going to beat up on the Ottomans. We took Moldavia pretty quickly in the war. A little later, we liberated Bucharest to form the Wallachian nation as a buffer against aggression south from Transylvania, and thus our only fears through the forest passes from Transylvania, which aren't very fearful, and from Galicia, which is very vulnerable. No, we're not at war with Austria, and I don't think we'll be at war with them anytime soon. But I mean, it's always safe. It's always better to be safe. The Balkans will also be an extremity that I'll have to worry about, because you can attack south, west from Transylvania, south from Hungary, and southeast from Croatia. Also, Vienna, their capital. There, and they have a lot of guys, as is quite evidently seen there. We won a couple of major victories around, and we gave their army a little bit of a beating a few episodes ago. But their Libyan Kugalu are insanely powerful. Their cavalry, much better than ours. But our infantry, well, I just need to start paying more attention to it. That's about it. We have a couple armies. This militia army that's just coming over here. We have this Mikhail Kustov, our main army. This is where our power base is. 3 grenadier regiments, or brigades. A Pilvosk Grenadier Brigade. 1 mounted rifles. 2 Russian Lifeguard Cossacks. 2 dragoons. 2 hussars. 2 6-pounder horse artillery. 2 12-pounder foot artillery, 2 6-pounder foot artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 4 light infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 musketeers, line infantry. Exciting. We also have a small army forming up here, which we're probably going to send these guys north to Moscow. Cool. On top of Sergei Kametsky here, who's replacing Guderian, who unfortunately died due to an assassination. Real shame. And no more trade we can do, so let's just get right into the end of the turn. Bam. Okay, so pretty much the plan is to defeat the Ottomans and secure wealth and trade from them and build up a decent fleet. Then it comes down to how badly or how well Austria is doing in the war. If Austria is being destroyed, well, we're not going to go against Austria very quickly. But from the looks of it, Austria is doing okay. Piedmont has fallen, Milan is theirs, Vienna is theirs, that's normal. Prussia has Tyrol, they have Stuttgart, they've lost Munich, Hanover, Frisia have fallen. So overall, France is doing pretty poorly. So we'll see. Oh, looks like the Balkans secured Belgrade. Now, I would have preferred to hold on to that myself, but that's fine. We're just coming out here to attack down south towards Athens, which is the objective of this war. Of course, after we after we have successfully defeated their armies, which they are rebuilding. Fun. Due to the reports of defeat on the front and terrible performance from militia, High Command at Moscow has decided to reduce militia involvement and spend more on proper infantry units, building up a highly versatile and elite core army, but still having some militia because it is Russia, of course. And we are bringing forces north from here. Okay. Mikhail is looking like he's about ready to attack Istanbul. If Istanbul built a fort, if the AI ever built forts, I'd be in trouble. But the AI doesn't build forts because they're expensive and the AI spends all of its money on unit upkeep. Now, that's how they have these big swaths of armies, but I like to have a little bit of income. But, of course, you're making a demand. Salim, you've lost Moldavia, Wallachia, and the Balkans, but you still think you're in a position to make a demand. Potentially heading here. Cutting a little bit of trade. Current income's 1,971. Let's see what we get. And separating their supporting armies from the capital, Istanbul, could be useful. Excellent. Tons of money from cutting that supply route. Good job. Good stuff. Sergei is heading south towards the city of Athens. Kiev, next turn, will be dispersing an army north to Moscow, which will meet up with this army under von Bensing. They're still cutting trade here, but once they're defeated, my trade ships and trade will flourish. Let's end the turn and see what happens. I have a feeling they'll launch their massed armies at me. So the ultimate goal will be to pretty much be unstoppable. And by that I mean to allow France to retain power in the west, but not be able to defeat Austria and Prussia, and I don't want Austria and Prussia being able to defeat them. And they came out to attack me. Excellent. They're heavily outnumbered, so the Ottomans are attacking a superior general, overall with a less veteran force, surprisingly somehow. Their forces are outnumbered, heavy artillery focus, which good positioning can neutralize, and fairly heavy cavalry focus, missile cavalry too. But those Kuglus are so powerful. Lots of skirmish troops, lots of bows and stuff. Blunderbuss gunners, that's nothing. This army will be destroyed. 1,000 soldiers. So, I don't know what they're going to do. They have a lot of cavalry and a lot of artillery. So the cavalry will stop me putting their cavalry. So first things first, I want to select a command position. And I want to incorporate all my defenses around that. So what, this? Here? This will be where Mikhail Kustov can deploy, with a little bouncer there for artillery. On this side, I'll definitely want some nice veteran blocks of line infantry. Stretching across the open face of this pass here. This little treat area will be home of some Russian skirmishes. Over on this flank is where I feel the main fighting will be. And thus where I deploy a mass wave of line infantry. Just go forward, meet the enemy's forces, and batter it aside. Here is an interesting artillery position, where I'm going to set up the focus of my batteries. With some nice round shot pounding into their ranks. Now this forward artillery position will of course have to be defended. But by whom? 2 brigades of Russian grenadiers. Good luck passing through these guys. Yep. Also in support here will be my Cossack Lifeguard Lancers. My skirmish units here will enfilade onto the plain here, to be dominated by 3 brigades line. And on this nice little position here will be my dragoons, resting place. Light artillery batteries located here will supply support There we go. 2 artillery gun batteries there. And on the far side of them, we will take what's left of my light infantry and form up a nice little shooting line here. Yes, my mounted rifles as well as my hussars. And this nice little interesting block of Russian line troops. Here will be my reserve. My veteran grenadiers will stand to in front, Mikhail Kustov and his retainers, and shoot at whoever comes near. The hussars will be a central cavalry force. Mounted rifles. The objective of my planning is to use natural terrain to as deadly an effect as possible. Gaps will be used as expert defense points. A vast Russian blob of a formation. But 2 brigades will have to form there. And just a massive blob-like formation of Russians. The enemy are advancing in their masses. It's these Libyan Kugalus that are the only threat to me. Like, at all. Their vast artillery park will probably end up being ill-placed and be a fairly inconsequential player. So it's quite obvious that my main emphasis is on this area here, on this hill here, and on this area here. This area is the defense line that can be moved up, or whatever, reinforcements such as. But if this point is broken by massed enemy forces, this point will be incredibly isolated, and those reserves will immediately go to patch, and a counterattack can be launched from the flanks. Will that exactly happen? I don't know. Will my thousands of Russians on this flank be defeated? I doubt it. If they are, well, good stuff. Military planning needs a little bit of work then. With orders from command, his main line is ordered to split up in about half to march around a little hill in the middle, and to form up a line on the other side. With massed artillery volleys slamming in, doing little damage yet due to the extreme range and spread outness of the enemy cavalry forces that are the only thing coming under fire. But also mounted rifles. It's quite an interesting unit. They have a range of 110, so it's less than light infantry, but greater than line, or equal to line, sorry. Enemy artillery volleys coming in, stop! Seeing as the fact that a dozen, maybe 2 dozen men had died before they had even gone around the hill, the Russian High Command ordered the Russian line to withdraw. Leaving a few dozen bodies behind. Russian drill and experience have kept this wing in order and marching order instead of them just breaking and running back to the line. They marched back like men. Even the units that were taking the brunt of the enemy's artillery fire, and had suffered approximately 20 losses, but they marched in good order back, and the artillery fire started to drop off. Counter battery fire was pretty much impossible due to the enemy's artillery superiority. Quite weird, the enemy seems to be deploying in this strange kind of elongated column formation here. But not with all their forces at once, of course. The 11th Orta, the European Provincial Nizam Sudoit, is running forward to support some Armenian skirmishers. Which, if you ask me, defending the most capable of fighting Russian infantry units that the Ottomans have as guards for archers. It's a bit of a waste. But of course, to each their own. Due to fears for safety, 3 brigades of the line were ordered to march back even farther behind the line of fire, and if further heavy fire was to be provided against the lines, then they were allotted to retreat further. But of course, no proper Russian commander would order his troops without good reason to withdraw. Get to safety, men! The Russian Mounted Rifle Regiment is looking to try and come up and surprise the enemy position. Currently suffering losses from an unknown artillery location. Has influenced the mounted rifles to withdraw more within reason. Having lost 11 horsemen, that's a fairly big deal. But the Ottoman column still marches forward. Even now, it's now the Ottomans' turn to be eating facefuls of artillery shot coming from the, well, quite frankly, less experienced Russian gunners, but the superiorly positioned and definitely capable Russian guns, giving the Ottomans a hard time. Though the Ottoman guns seem for the most part to have fallen silent, or of any threat they pose is pretty much nullified now, throwing shots well out of range. Whereas in return fire, Russian shells are dropping into the mass ranks of Ottoman infantry. And the moment that the nearer horse artillery guns start opening up, there'll be problems for the Ottomans. The moment they start coming within range, and with that sound, hell for the Ottomans has just arrived. Ordering light infantry to dismount from their horses and advance to shooting positions to take some shots at the enemy, as well as light infantry spreading out to take up positions on their flank and line infantry reserves being marched out to take their rear, to defend their rear. The Ottoman forces have separated somewhat, and they're sending forward their first ranks. This is not at all where Kudistov had anticipated the first engagement to be. Artillery shells slamming home, as well as horse rifles. With heavy return fire, the mounted rifles are pretty much immediately forced to withdraw. But not before the enemy did take some losses. It was definitely not worthwhile for them. Perhaps the light infantry will have a better faring. Sending hussars forward in an effort to tame the enemy's ranks, as well as repositioning 2 of the 3 brigades on the reinforced line. They're hoping to have a much better engagement next time. These are what? Albanian warband on the flank? They went from a 160-man unit, a mounted rifleman, to a 100-man. Armenian skirmishers are under just 87 men left now. The closeness of enemy infantry is highly dangerous, and the hussars started coming over under arrow fire, so they withdrew, as any sensible unit would. You're supposed to turn and face them. Though the Russian skirmishers are falling short of the enemy's Albanians, which is quite unfortunate due to Russian pride in their superiority. Though the enemy's Kugelus have not yet surfaced. Russian forces are in secure positions, but they are now threatening the horse artillery and forcing it from the field. The men being driven off. Just arrow fire just murders units. Armenian skirmishers still very much so a threat. Fire! Oh no! What are you doing? Uh-oh. Line! Advance! How have you not killed them yet? You did next to no damage. You did no damage to them. Even though you gave them a full frontal volley. You did absolutely nothing.
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack!
Our light infantry is failing. They can't defeat anything. What's going on over here? What are you getting shot by? Something. I'm not sure exactly what. Skirmishers being out skirmished, infantry being out infantry, cavalry being out cavalried, artillery being out artillery being out cannoned. And it's all because of these Armenian skirmishers. They are so freaking OP. Like, I don't have any dragoons in this army? Or something like that? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
Men are running, sir.
I don't have. I thought I had dragoons. Yeah, I do have. Okay, these are dragoons. Okay, that's what you are. Holy cow! Even both these light infantry units together are unable to do anything to these Albanian warband. Okay, you deploy over that way. Russian units, stop sucking so much.
Our men are running, sir.
Who's running now? Oh great, my mounted rifles. The one unit I needed to hold. At least I didn't get a charge into my light infantry. Oh no, apparently they are. Even though they've been engaged by my units. That's kind of not very fair. Also, well, Armenian skirmishers should not be Gatling gun turrets. No offense to archers, but no way are you that good. Able to fire that rapidly under fire, taking no losses, I might add. But at least the gunfight the line fight at least is going as you'd expect. Ottomans dropping like flies. Like absolute flies. Okay, my dragoons will finish off these bloody Albanians who have driven my skirmishers half across this map. They are just that much superior than my guys. But my dragoons should be able to mop them up very quickly and very easily. If their withdrawal has been halted, and they are broken. Cool. Now I need to bring my dragoons over to their firing camp. Yeah, no, pretty much anyone that comes in contact with archers, presumed dead. Just far easier. Okay, these Armenian skirmishers though, like I don't understand. These guys have a bunch of guys in their unit, like, almost on par with European line units. They fire super fast, high accuracy. Like, they're winning a shooting contest with line infantry, and they're literally like a foot, like 5 feet away. Actually, these guys I don't know, they must have engaged something first. They're not even shooting at these guys. face full of musket shots. These guys these guys are a great unit. They're fairly cheap. They're high morale, extremely high accuracy, extremely high reload speed, and extremely good at eating volleys of missiles. Because one, it takes a lot of ammunition to kill a unit in the first place. But that's before the unit that's supposed to be doing the killing is almost completely dead anyways. By the way, these European Nazim Sadoit are doing very well. And this gap just betrayed me. Thought it'd be a huge combat aid, but in the end it was the exact opposite of an aid. It was a hindrance. But now, like expected, the infantry combat is just about rounded over. The last of their straggling units are learning what it is to be westernized. And are just about finished cracking. Yeah, these European Nizam Sadoit, like my troops are not amazing units, but they should be able to defeat Ottomans. But they still have their Libyan Kugalu in reserve. Oh geez, I didn't realize that. And oh no. They're committing meet the mass charge head on like men, and then reinforcements will charge in to aid you. Blunderbuss Grenadiers or Marine blunderbuss gunners are coming in some side charge action, and they're gonna nope. Okay, they decide to stop and shoot at my onrushing brigade of foot. Who outnumbers them first, and I don't think that they're not getting a volley in. They're just readying for melee, but bayonets will defeat their swords this day and every day. The only problem these days is their Libyan Kugalu supporting those super heavy guns is not healthy for my guys. Cool. Yeah, the enemy have one unit still looking like it would like to fight. My horse artillery. It's going to be brought up to reinforce the new advance that's being planned. Okay, this is really weird. Okay, I'm just gonna end the recording here and shut off screen. We clearly win. Haha. I'm Alex the Gammer. I hope you have a